Hey, it's Heather. Today I'm in the kitchen. I'm going to make some bone broth, some beef bone broth. We have some bones from a cow that we had processed, and then a friend of mine gave me some bones from her cow she had processed. So excited, so thankful she gave me those. Bone broth is not hard to make. It is time consuming, but kind of hands off time consuming. Like, I'll do this, it'll probably take me a couple days to cook the bones down, and then I'll add vegetables to them. But I do it all in my roaster here. So it's not, don't be intimidated. You can do it. You can do this for yourself, for your family, have this healthy and economical bone broth on hand. So let's get started. The first step is the bones. I took these out yesterday. I had them in the freezer. I took them out. I let them thaw, and I put them in my roaster now to make sure they would fit because they were in bags and stuff. So anyway, it's enough, and I'm going to put them into this pot. Put some of them. They probably won't all fit. And I'm going to cover them with water and boil them for 10 minutes or so. This just is a step that I like to do. I feel like it gets well read that it does get toxins out. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I like to do it. And yes, I'm picking these up with my hands because I do have tongs. I don't know where I stuck them, but here. But not doing that just because I'm taking a video, because it's a pain in the butt, and I will just sit there and probably drop them. Oh, look, it's working now. But normally, no, it's just more trouble than it's worth. But I will use those when they're hot and in the water. But I'm making this for my family, so I don't need to worry about that. I washed my hands. But anyway, so I'm going to put as many as I can in here. I hope I can get them all in here, but might not work. We'll see. These are the ones my friend gave me. Oops. They are smaller. The bones that I have are bigger. Those are the ones that are probably not all going to fit. They're not all going to fit, so I'm going to just leave these bigger ones and do them all together. The next one. So I'm going to fill this up with water. I have my bones covered with water. I'm going to let those boil. While those are boiling, coming to a boil, I have some vegetables to cut up. I've already cut my onions because, well, they were going to make me cry, so I just went on and cut them. And the garlic, I just smashed those with my handy dandy meat cleaver thing. There's the onions. I'm just going to store them in this bag until I need them. I'm going to put all the vegetables in this bag. Then I'll just dump them directly into my roaster when I need them. Garlic. I don't care that the paper's on them because in the end you're going to strain them anyway. None of that stuff's going to be in there. That's garlic that I grew, so I trust the paper that's on it. And the carrots, I picked these up from Costco, the carrots and celery yesterday. I might cut that off just because whatever, since I want to. And I'll roughly cut all these up. I'm not worried about them being super small, just roughly cut. I have about a gallon of vegetables to add to my broth. Maybe a little bit too many. But anyway, I'll store these in the refrigerator. I'll take a few out. Not to worry. I'm going to juice some of these leftover vegetables. I'm going to juice those. Have a nice green drink. So I'll just throw these little pieces in to be juiced. I can make a video on that too. So a gallon of these, I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. Won't add those to the broth until much later. There's the bones boiling. Finally, it did take quite some time to get them up to a boil. But now that they are, I'll just do this for probably like 10 minutes. You can see this scummy looking stuff. I'll scoop that off, and that's what I'm looking for here. Just to get that scummy stuff off. And then we'll go to the next step. Okay, I've already scraped some of this off, but thought I would get it on camera for you. Okay, so they have boiled for about 15 minutes, and I'm just going to take them out. Right, you get the gist. I'm going to get the rest of these bones out. I'll come back when I get them all fished out. I got all the boiled bones out, and I'm going to put these last few bones down in the same order that I boiled the last bones in. One thing, the reason I would do that, the reason I do this, is because it won't take as long for the water to boil, and the juice off of this I will put over my dog's food, and they will love me so much for it. So anyway, so here are the ones that we've already boiled for about 15 minutes. It took longer than that waiting for the water to come to a boil, but anyway, we're putting these over, and I would, I don't know how long, I just keep checking on them to see when they start looking kind of brown. And then I'll take those out and put in my roaster. And then I'll put these in the oven and brown them. Take them out the oven, put them in my roaster. So we'll be back. So there's the roasted bones, and here are the next batch to go in the oven. The rest of the bones have finished roasting. I added them to my roaster. And the only thing I'm going to add at this point is some peppercorns and more water. So I'm just adding some of those. And then I'm going to cover all this with water and cut it on low in my roaster. And I'll bring y'all back and show you what it looks like once it starts kind of simmering. Have the bones in my cooker. I'm going to cook them at about 200. At this point, I usually would put some apple cider vinegar in it, a cup or two, but I don't have any, so I'm going to skip that step this time. I think it'll be fine. From what I've read, that's to help, you know, get the bone marrow out and break down some nutrients or whatever. But today we're not doing that. I don't have it. So I'm going to let this cook a little bit. I'm not filling it up all the way because some fat is going to come off of these bones, and I don't want it to overfill. But once it gets heated up pretty good, I'll see how it looks and may have to add some more water. I know I have to add some more water over time, but I'll bring you back in another 24 hours probably. All right, it's about 24 hours later. I did added a little more water to it, and it is on 225 to keep it at this really low simmer. And then, so this is 24 hours later, and I'll let it cook for another 24 hours like this before I add the vegetables. It has been about 48 hours. So I'm going to add my vegetables, my bag of vegetables that we cut up. Then I'll let these cook until in the morning. It's about 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll let these cook in here for 12 hours, I guess. See what they look like in the morning. And if they're not cooked up Then I'll let them go a little bit longer, maybe 24 hours. But that's the next step. We're going to cover it and come back in a little bit. Okay, it's the next morning. It's cooked for 12 more hours with the vegetables. You can see the vegetables have cooked up nicely. Now I'm cutting it off and then let it cool before I strain out all the stuff, the chunky stuff, the bones, the vegetables, all that stuff. Last night I had my husband strain the bones and vegetables out of the broth for me. That cooker roaster thing is so big, it's hard for me to handle. So anyway, I had him do that for me, and we just set it in our refrigerator that we have outside to cool. And today I'm going to strain it and jar it up and also take this fat off. I don't know how much fat is on here, but let me move this. So we're going to heat it up, strain it, and we're going to heat it, strain it, put it back in the refrigerator, let that little bit of fat come back to the top. That way we'll have a nice, clean broth. And there's still some stuff on that, but I'm going to clean it, render it down, and turn it into beautiful, usable fat. So I'm just going to stick it back there while I finish up the bone broth. As I was waiting for this to heat, this fat was coming together on top nicely. So I said, well, I'll just scoop it out like this. Now I'm probably still going to refrigerate it one more time. I'll see what it looks like after I strain it. Things change depending on how everything looks. If it looks like very little fat is in it, then I'll go ahead and jar it up. But I like to get, a little bit of fat in it would be okay, but I don't want to have a lot of fat in it in my end product. Okay, I think this is good. I don't need to bring it to boil or anything like that. I'm just trying to get all the smaller pieces out that didn't come, that the strainer did not catch. So I'm going to move over to the sink and strain this. I have this, I think it's called a nut milk bag. I got two off of Amazon years ago. Mine is orange because I strained turmeric tincture through it. Normally it's more like that color. But anyway, this is also what I use for my bone broth. If I had another pair of hands, I would ask someone to just pour it in there for me. But this is what we have going on today. This is what the bag catches. Oh, I'm not in the right spot. Try not to trip. That's what the bag catches. I'll just put that over into my animal scraps. Nothing goes to waste here. Something will eat it, or we will compost it. I can see a little film on top, but I think I am going to put this back in the fridge. Just see what hardens. It may not be that much fat, but anyway, we're going to make sure. This has cooled again. I'm just going to scrape. It's not a lot of fat. You can see I'm going to scrape what I can off of here. And then I'm going to be pretty happy with that, just to go on and put it in containers and get it frozen. And it is super jello-like. Trying to get that on camera for you. I have pressure canned this before, but when I do that, it loses that jello-like property, which is the collagen in the bone broth. And that's one of the reasons I make my own bone broth. I don't know, but for me, I feel like I don't want to lose that property. Maybe nutritionally it is the same. Maybe the collagen's the same, even if it's not jello-like. But for me, they very, very jello-like. So that tells me it has a lot of collagen in it, which is what I want for my joints and all that good stuff as we're getting older. So I pressure canned it a couple times and then said, no, I'm going to put this in the freezer. I hate to use up freezer space on anything that I could can, but this is one of the things I do use my freezer space for. So anyway, just wanted to show that jello type consistency. Really neat. Really nice. So we're going to I'm not going to boil it or anything. I'm just going to get it warm enough in a liquid form to put it in my freezer containers. And then I'll get it in the freezer and the broth will be done. This is finally ready. It's cool enough. I can put it into my containers for the freezer. I got the bone broth in its containers. It's ready to go in the freezer. And I hope this video gives you some inspiration to make your own bone broth. Do it your way. People do it all different kind of ways. I did mine in a roaster for a very long period of time. That's the way I like to do it. But that doesn't mean it's the way you have to do it. Crock pot, Instapot, on the stove. There's so many different ways, with, without vegetables. Just find the way that works for you. I hope this video gave you some inspiration to make your own bone broth. See you next time.